You're listening to the Jazz FM and Friends Late Night Show.
So what we'll do now is... are we going on to the next album now?
Moving on to the next project.
Oh,
Thank Me Later. So it's a bit of a crossover, really.
Thank Me Later, yeah. Okay.
With Thank Me Later, there were a few tunes. Well, later on, So Far Gone was never originally released on digital platforms, was it? So that only happened, I think, a couple of years ago.
Yeah, finally got it on there.
Finally got it on there. And when they put it on there, they put like a really expanded version of it on. Because I think So Far Gone originally didn't have that many tracks on it. And now it's weird because a lot of the tracks that are on So Far Gone are also on Thank Me Later.
Yeah, so basically what happened is So Far Gone, it was the mixtape that extended it, and then there was the biggest bidding war apparently for Drake at the time. Yeah. This is what they've said. Obviously Drake had that association with Lil Wayne, and then it's the whole, he signed with Cash Money, Young Money. Yeah. You know, but again, interesting, that biggest bidding war for him.
Yeah.
So even from the start, obviously people knew that he was going to kill it. Like we said, probably because the vibe, the looks, just very marketable, right?
Yeah. Exactly that.
So now we got that album out of the way. Obviously, we said about Noah, dark, distorted themes, watery drums.
So Thank Me Later is the first studio album, right? Because
Then basically, Thank Me Later, he said he actually doesn't really like it as an album.
No, I remember him saying because he was. He said it was the first time, because obviously with So Far Gone, it was before he'd really blown, or it was the one that made him blow. So everything he made on that album was his own,
authentic,
what he wanted to make. Whereas Thank Me Later, and 40 said the same thing, was the first time where they had other voices and they were trying to make music for other people all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And there were certain songs on there where he said they weren't really my songs, like they were made for other people.
Yeah, then like he said, obviously, like he kind of said, first studio album, I came on as like, I'm going to have a feature with Jeezy, Alicia Keys, you know, and he said like it was just full of features, and he goes, it weren't really me, you know. He was just like, who can I be with? He tried to enter strong into the game, and he said it was very rushed. He said like he didn't enjoy making it really. He said it was just no time on it. He would write a verse and that, and it was done.
Yeah, and that
he couldn't change it or remake it.
Yeah, there's no time. They have to get they're on a time limit. They have to get things out quickly.
So this album was. So you're saying this was the first album he made under his YMCMB deal?
I think so.
And that was, do you know? I think that was it like a 4-album deal or a 5-album deal? Something silly.
The deal stopped when he released If You're Reading This, It's Too Late.
Okay.
So it would have been.
So like 4, 5. So it's 5. No, 5. Yeah, because that came after Where We're Gonna Stop, which is Nothing Is the Same. So that's one of my big beefs at the moment, because I actually, and again, I think it's one of the only things that Kanye is talking some sense about right now, is that they get locked in for way too long. And that's 5 albums is silly, especially when you see how much Drake's changed in 5 albums. But yeah, like you say, even though this wasn't an album where he felt like it was one of his best, mate. Don't get me wrong. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't miss. Even when it's bad, it's good.
Like I say, I do enjoy the album, just as not as much as other albums.
Yeah.
You know, and I think just to give a little knowledge drop, I think this was going to be called The Girls Love Drake, and basically there was a little kind of legal dispute.
I'm so glad it wasn't called that, by the way.
No, honestly, so am I. That is a.
God.
Yeah, that's a terrible.
That's
a terrible name. That could have changed his whole career. Yeah. Honestly, it was going to be called The Girls Love Drake.
I mean, it's true.
And then there was some kind of distribution of some sort under that name. And then because Drake was signed to the Cash Money, Young Money lot, that there was a little legal dispute, but it got sold very quickly, very very quickly.
You're listening to the Jazz FM and Friends Late Night Show, the only place for hip-hop discussion and general chit-chat.
Jez was like, right, I'm going to ask you some questions on the podcast. And I was like, what?
The tunes you were playing was unbelievable.
For me, he's the greatest of all time for many reasons.
Can you answer this on the
spot?
Why
are you doing that to me, man?
Sorry, I've lost my cool now.